So joining me today is Blaze, graphic designer and caster for the Bronze, Silver, Gold competitive series. Rangar, rank 1 challenger in Korea. Zushi, support player for the Bronze, in the house. Ignorant streamer and caster for the Bronze, Silver, Gold competitive series. And finally, X-Dawn, the discoverer of the platypus. Now, let's get right into it. We're going to discuss piping versus DTS match first, and then the second half of this episode, we're going to discuss the 9ups versus Core in the house. So, just FYI to everyone out there who hasn't been paying attention this season, piping into the regular season, 7 wins, 3 ties, 1 loss, earning them the second place overall seed. DTS finished 4 wins, 5 ties, 3 losses, earning them the 5th seed, and then last week had a pretty clean 2-0 against Frosty Esports. So, for the first topic of this episode, who, in your opinion, is the weakest player for each of these two teams? X-Dawn, please.
Coming out with the flame questions right off the bat. Little bit hard to pick on the side of piping. If they have Kidifier mid still for this coming game on Sunday, then I'd have to say him, simply because he just has a small champ pool, in my opinion. He's pretty easy to ban out. It's just been a problem consistently, so would probably go with him. If he's not the mid laner and they go ahead with somebody else, then I'd have to say Zegri, simply because he's just never really been like a standout performer. But yeah, leave Kidifier as my solid answer for piping. Although we did take out the alpha, so I mean, who knows? He could be the best player on piping. And as far as DTS, I would have to go with their support, actually. Dongavicious. I feel like the Chocho really carries that lane, and Dongavicious is pretty much able to do whatever he wants and kind of just get away with it. The rest of DTS I don't even think is that bad. I mean, you have kind of Jindaddy boosting everybody up. Jungle looks pretty good if you ever gank mid, so yeah, would definitely go with Dongavicious. Again, just not really a standout player, and I think Chocho is just really levels ahead of a lot of people, so he kind of just gets to breeze by.
Okay, fair enough. Flame him, my boy, Kidifier, but that's okay. Let's go with Ignorant.
Yeah, with Kidifier being a little bit out of practice, we'll go with, since the AOL fiasco. We don't know what he's been doing, how much he's been practicing with piping, and I would have to go with him just in terms of catching up and establishing some synergy with the team. I initially was thinking Zegri, but he does his job always, and I don't think he's much of a concern at all. As for DTS, I think their jungler, if anything, is going to be slower at reacting to rotations in the mid game. His ganks are usually pretty good. They throw him on a tank, he does his thing, but he's not a super aggressive jungler in terms of applying pressure to the enemy jungler. He just kind of does his thing and follows along and exists. So I'd have to go with Dub X1, Dub 11, whatever.
XL, right? I would assume. But yeah, no, I 100% agree. I do not think he exerts as much pressure as he should on the map, causing DTS to, in turn, rely super heavily on Jindaddy. Rangar, hit us with it.
Alright, so first of all, I think both these top laners kind of suck. Like, neither of them are really doing anything. Like, they're sitting there, they don't do anything right, they don't do anything wrong. So it's like, I don't know if you can base how good they are on that. But in terms of, like, if I'm watching a game or I'm on their team, I want a top laner that doesn't like have to alt tab and start playing Fortnite or something. Like, they're literally doing nothing but farming up there, which, you know, whatever. I guess it works out. This is probably going to be a mid battle. We know Kidifier and Jindaddy. You know, I don't think they have any real beef, but they both kind of suck on occasion. Jindaddy is probably their weakest and their biggest player. The strongest and weakest, so we'll see who shows up. But I'm going to go Jindaddy for the weakest on DTS. And I'm going to go Kidifier weakest on piping.
Okay. So Rangar has smoked some really good stuff today.
420's over.
Yeah. Rangar, you... Woof. Anyway, we're going to move along. Zushi, hit me with it.
Alright, so I haven't played at all against... yeah, I don't think I've played at all against the newest incarnation of piping, but I've never really considered them a team that's all about synergy. In fact, I don't know, I hear that, like, they've got some people in there that are, like, kind of toxic, but I think in a mid lane matchup, Kidifier versus Jindaddy, he's already won it before, so you could just do it again. He's Kid of Fire is not like he's not the biggest mid lane player, but he knows when to how to direct people. That's his strength. And otherwise, I don't know much about the snakes.
The snakes. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. No, I concur. I feel like
And,
people are giving Kid of Fire a little extra flack for no reason.
Pretty much the biggest part of piping is their jungler.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about all I have to say for that topic.
Yeah, fair enough. Blaze.
All right, so I'm actually not 100% against what Rengar is saying here. I'm actually, well, first off, Jinderi is by no means what I would call the weakest link, but I'm on board with him, what he's saying for the top lane. I look at DTS, I would actually say that Takey's their weakest link. Despite having a strong performance against DuoEsports and Rampage and Koala in the quarterfinals last week, I think it has to be addressed that Koala and Zigri are two drastically different playstyles. Koala is a much more aggressive top laner, which allowed DTS to take advantage of that through overextensions and getting more gank opportunities. Zigri, on the other hand, is a super passive top laner, and I don't believe DTS and Takey especially know how to put a top laner that doesn't overextend or go super aggro in the dirt ASAP. As for the powerhouse themselves, Piping Esports, I say that Kid is probably the weakest link. I think he's gonna have to do super well just to go even against Jinderi. So a lot of pressure is going to be on Kid in this matchup.
Okay, fair enough. All right, my thoughts on weakest players. Man, I feel like you guys really hate Kid of Fire. But anyway, my thoughts on the matter.
He's
So
a good guy.
I concur. Yeah, no, for sure. I concur. Zigri is definitely not top tier, top laner. But at the same time, he's definitely not bottom of the barrel. He kind of knows his role in the team. My role is not to carry. My role is to not feed, and then when you team fight, to let people hit me. That's what his job is, and that's what he does. So, but my thing, I honestly kind of want to pick Mimo. And Mimo's a super good support, but the thing is, Mimo a lot of times makes these really wild, crazy plays, either because he's tilted or because he just super disrespects the other team, and then it ends up failing, and then he dies, puts his team in a bad spot. And then I feel like so far in the regular season they weren't really punished for that, just because they always have a pretty good lead in lane, because Piping as a whole are usually ahead because they almost always win their lane, and Blight is constantly ganking, taking objectives for them, so it hasn't really punished them too hard. But if he does the same thing now that we're in semifinals, now that we have some good teams, some good competition, I feel like that could definitely come back to hurt Piping if he kind of plays his very disrespectful play style. And then on the other side of the coin for DTS, I kind of want to, again, either go with Xdon, with the Dong Vicious, or the top Takey. Either way, those two I would have to say are the two of the weaker members of the team. But as we all know, Jinderi is the true carry. Everyone else is just along for the ride.
You guys are forgetting Silver Jinderi, Dota. This could not be the Jinderi you know.
That was like 1 week. Everyone has an off week, so I'm gonna chalk it up to maybe he had the flu. You know, threw him off. Let's get into the next topic.
He was lagging.
The classic lag. Yes. All right, let's hit up this next topic. Do you guys foresee any contested champion picks between this match, DTS and Piping? If so, what's the champ? Let's go back to Blaze.
All right. Well, I'm going to say 100% we're going to be seeing a Swain picker ban in the series. Takey played pretty good on it against DuoEsports, and it's been something that Zigri has whipped out throughout the regular season, so I feel that mainly top lane, I could definitely see it in mid lane, but mainly up in the top lane, we're definitely going to see Swain.
Okay, yeah, 100% like it. Zushi.
Someone will probably pick LeBlanc during this, since she just got her revert and she's pretty strong early. But I don't know who's gonna have who might have priority over them.
Neither of them got guts, dude.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. LeBlanc has been changed, so I'm sure a lot of people have been spamming her in the solo queue. Will she be a contested pick though? I'm not really sure.
I don't know. Kid of Fire might pick it.
Okay.
I'm highly doubting it.
I could 100% see someone picking
Well,
it,
Jin
though.
Daddy's also been practicing it, so he may be onto something.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot
Ooh.
actually.
Oh, look at this guy. Look at the little scout man over here.
Yeah, we
All
might
right.
we might see LeBlanc versus Zed.
Oof.
That'd be hyphy.
Oof, that's getting me giddy.
What is
All
it,
right.
season 4?
It's Worlds, baby. It's Worlds. All right, Ignorant, give us your thoughts, please.
Yeah, you kind of have to respect the Swain pick still, even after any nerfs it may have received or any changes to the mid lane meta. I know during the season, sorry, dog. During the season, Kid of Fire played a lot of Galio. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. Move on to someone else. Galio. I'm gonna pick Galio.
Okay. Okay. Galio nerfs, but I still do think he is not a bad champ, and I could definitely Kid of Fire was spamming that champion in the regular season. But let's go to you, Rengar.
I actually got some exciting picks. So we've seen Sejuani, Zach, Skarner pretty much the entire series, and I said quarterfinals might be the place where that starts to change. Well, you said okay, not quarters because they're all cowards, but semis maybe. Well, with the recent buffs to not only Graves but to Vi, I think they're both super viable champions since they both get pretty tanky and they do damage. We know Blight isn't afraid of picking up the carry champions either, so if he can get his mind off of Rengar and Kai'Sa, I'm very interested to see if what's that? What two champions did I just say?
Vi and Graves.
Vi and Graves. Yeah, Vi and Graves carries because he likes them. That are tanky. So that's what I think will be actually pretty contested. If he does pull it out the first game, then and they lose. Worst case scenario, they just go back to Janna and Ivern. And so Loki, I think Janna will actually be the most contested pick because we know both supports like to play him. It's an easy champion to play, and they love their shield comps. Both teams do. If you go back to earlier DTS games, they ran a lot of shield comps as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was always toxic. Skirming against piping, and they bring out the double shields with their Orn top or something.
The good old tank
I
hindsight.
hated that.
The Ivern, Janna, or Orianna shield comp is canceled.
Yeah, because they had Gawain then too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do like the. I didn't know Vi got buffed last patch. I haven't really read the patch notes. But I think Vi is honestly a good pick if she's somewhat viable. But anyway.
I just got it.
Because Vi does have
Okay.
pretty good early game ganks. Then once she hits 6, you just press R, kind of do your thing, jump on a carry. So I could definitely see Vi being picked because she is pretty easy to play, decent clears, yada yada, etc. etc. So I like that point, and I do think Blight does like Graves. I believe he said that once.
Do. Oh, he
Okay.
do.
He loves Graves. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so I mean, yeah, those buffs, we could definitely see it. I would love to see it personally because I think Graves, when he's played by someone who's good and once he gets going, is a really stupid champion and just completely steamrolls people. But let's go to you, Don. Your thoughts?
I feel like I'm the boring one here. I don't think the meta's changing at all. I don't think any of these junglers are going to be introduced at all. I think it's pretty much going to stay standard where it's at. I don't think LeBlanc's going to come out. I mean, you can pull out any of these champions in any game. Don't get me wrong. But if we're talking about what's the best in a competitive 5v5 setting, then I don't think the meta's going anywhere. I mean, you're still, the way mid lane items are, the way tank items are, it's so easy to build MR. It's so easy to build these resistances that carries early just aren't very good. I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of these picks are great in solo queue. Go ahead, do whatever you want with them. But if we're talking about contested picks, things that are new, hot on the market, I actually don't even think at that point there's very many. A lot of these, if you look at the opposing laners, they pretty much play opposite to each other. If we're looking at Kid of Fire, Jin Daddy just goes crazy. Kid of Fire is trying to help the team. If we're looking at top lane, Decay is pretty crazy. Zegri, he's just trying to tank. If we're looking at the junglers, that's probably where the biggest similarity is, but they have completely different champion pools, maybe with the exception of Warwick being on both of their radar. So out of every role, really, the only picks I could see being contested are Warwick, and at best, bot lane, Caitlyn is super strong. Caitlyn Ezreal. So those three champs is
So if
pretty
you don't
much
see
it.
the meta changing, do you think it's going to be like Zach, Sejuani, Warwick then? Because I feel like Zach is low-key the best with all the Sejuani nerfs. And if you think the meta's not changing, then that's pretty much just Zac and Sejuani.
I mean, you have Trundle in there too now. You have Olaf in there too. There's other junglers besides those. Kha'Zix is always still good, but I don't think any like new jungler is actually going to be like introduced. They could definitely be pulled out if you're really prominent at one of those champions. Because I mean, we're in a Golden Below League. Anything could be good if you're good enough at it. So, but as far as like anything that I think is going to be like super hyphy, like brought in because of some changes recently, no, I don't think there's going to be anything.
You just gotta believe. You just gotta believe.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a Vi 1 chick, and I absolutely love Vi, but yeah, that's the changes are made her amazing for solo queue, but competitive Vi has the same problems that she always has.
Viable.
She has the same problems she always has, though. You can't jump into 5 people and live. Not as Vi. You're just not tanky enough. So
Fair enough.
no follow-up team report. Okay, I'm just
Rip. So yeah, no, I definitely concur quite a bit. I do think we will start seeing some more carry champs. Kind of what I said a few weeks ago. I just think people are going to start picking them up a little more. But yeah, I definitely do see. I think for the most part, that's always going to be, I guess, the go-to is just pick a tanky jungler, dude. Just pick a tanky jungler. It's fine. But yeah, I do think we'll definitely see some carry. I would like to see the Graves. Is it going to be a contested pick though? I don't really think so. I don't think DubXL plays Graves. He's kind of just been like a Sejuani one-trick-ish for most of the season, and it's been working out decently well for DTS. They just need that front line, that engage, that CC bot. For a contested pick?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's been my issue too. Is just like pretty much every role plays different shit on both of these teams. I guess maybe Thresh or Morgana might be picked up by both of the supports. Maybe.
So for game 1, I'm definitely thinking Thresh. Dong Vicious has been playing a ton of Thresh, done very good on it. And then Mimo, exact same thing. He's been picking it a lot in the regular season, done very well on it. They both like that champ. So I could definitely see Thresh being a contested pick. But it is a Thresh, so it's not going to be first pick in the either side rotations. I don't really see that happening because I don't think either team's going to place such an emphasis on it that they're like, hey, we're blue side, first pick Thresh. But I still do think it will be contested.
There was recorded as the first pick Thresh by Rakan in the hard end. You never know. Anything's possible.
We don't want to talk about GG here. That's but my other pick I think is Kai'Sa. Blue Edit played a ton of Kai'Sa in the quarterfinals. Did pretty well on her. And then CTG Requiem has also been playing a bit of her. So I could kind of see that one maybe being a little bit higher in the priority, try to snag that ADC because, as we all know, ADCs are a little more valued than the supports. But either way, I think the bot lane is going to be the contested pick. I feel like jungle, mid, and top for both teams are pretty different as far as champ pool goes. So we won't really see too much of the I'm going to pick this champion away from you occurring. But I do see that in the bot lane. So let's get into our final topic of this match. Predictions. I mean, that's super simple, super straightforward. Who's going to win? And what's the score going to be? Is it we can see a 2-0 clean sweep, or are we going to see some 2-1s? Let's go to XDon.
This is going to be a little... you know what? Okay, never mind. For a second, I was actually going to say, could DTS possibly win? And I'm only saying that because the last time I saw Piping play, they didn't have 3 of their starters. So I am still going to have faith in Piping because they proved me wrong time and time again. So I would probably say 2-1 in the favor of Piping, simply because their first game always sucks.
Okay, fair enough. Rengar.
I'll go 3-1 as well.
3-1.
For Piping. It's best of 5 in semis, right?
Best of 3.
I knew that. All right, 3-0. 2-0.
That's how bad they're gonna. That's how badly they're gonna win. They're gonna get an extra win.
That's how hard they're gonna stomp, dude. They're gonna re-queue up after they already 2-0. I'll go
2-0.
Piping.
Okay, you sure about that?
I think so.
Oh, I mean, it was 3-1 just a minute ago, so I just want to make sure.
I'll go 5-0 Piping.
All right, excellent. Ignorant.
I think DTS is going to be able to coordinate fairly well. They've had more practice. Piping hasn't played Flex Q together for a few days. Yeah, not for like 5 days. They haven't played anything together. So I think they're out of practice. They have a new mid laner. He's a decent player by all means, yes, but he might not have great synergy with them. And they've had 3 weeks off. So I actually think DTS might win 2-1. I think this might be I think this might be the upset of the semifinals. I think NN definitely can just win their way through. Sorry, CTH, but I think Piping might actually lose this one.
Ooh, boy, you got me thank you, Ignorant. Way to spice up the show. Zushi, hit me with it.
I think it's going to be a 2-1 for Piping. Because I think they're just going to lose their first game, but then they'll clean up their act for the last 2 games. Kid of Fire, he's pretty good in a series, I feel. Because, I don't know, he's good at correcting things that were wrong. So, yeah, I think Piping will end up taking it away, but I think they'll drop a game.
Okay. Yep, fair enough. Blaze.
Oh boy. You know, as much as I would love to sit here and try and jinx every single matchup, I think my boy Ignorant's already on the case with that one, saying that DTS can take out Piping Esports. Maybe you should look at the bracket, my friend. See it 2nd versus 5th. I'm feeling a pretty hot, clean, quick 2-0 for my boys Piping Esports. I don't think the DTS really are going to be able to handle what Piping do to them. And while Piping Game 1 has never been something to look at and, you know, be in awe over, I still think that Game 1's more solid than most other teams out there in this league. 2-0, baby. Let's go.
Can I switch my prediction now that I know who Blaze is cheering for?
No.
No.
Alright, so my thoughts on the matter. I'm going to have to go with Piping. I think Piping are a super strong team. They have solid lanes, a ridiculously good jungler. Overall, just very good. But I do think they will drop a game just because we've said it all season. We literally said it since game 1 of week 1. Their mid game is super messy. They just, I don't know, they just run around for 10 minutes and then somehow win a team fight and then they end the game. And I feel like you can't really do that against DTS because Jin Daddy, as we all know, super good at getting picks, good at catching people out in those little sloppy rotations. So I think that it will be a 2-1, but Piping will be in the finals. Now, we're done with Piping DTS match. Go ahead, push that to the back. Now, let's hop in to the Naughty Nebs versus Corey in the house. Our match is going to occur in about 32 minutes from now. So, a little background for anyone who hasn't been paying attention for the past, 12 weeks or so. 6th place, Corey in the House, the best anime that's ever been done. Corey in the House record for the regular season was 4 wins, 2 ties, 5 losses, and they managed to snag the 6th place seed from Nevermore by winning the gauntlet. And then they beat GG Esports in a super clean, dominating Macho Man Randy Savage, elbow drop from the top rope, clean sweep. So,
yeah, brother.
Thank you. And then Naughty Nips, 1st place seed in the regular season at a whopping 9 wins, 1 tie, 1 loss. So, let's get into our first topic for the CTH versus Naughty Nips match. Name a champion that is a must ban for each of these teams. Let's go ahead. We'll go with Exdon again.
Must ban champ. Gotta get the Orianna away from Gawain, obviously. Like, he's been one trick in it since week 1. No, I'm kidding. Probably, if I had to pick one, Gangplank, because both top laners are pretty prominent. Actually, honestly, top lane all the way. There's Gangplank that's contested between the two. There's Darius that's contested between the two. Both play a pretty carry-oriented style. I think GVG's a little bit more versatile in the fact that he can play tanks as well. But if you throw him onto a tank, is it the worst thing in the world if he can't just like completely pop off in the top lane? We'll see. Because, I mean, yeah, match is going on in 30 minutes. Other than that, though, I don't think there's really too many champions that overlap. I don't think there's really any, like, this person is going to completely destroy on this champ. Maybe taking 1 or 2 champs away from Owen mid. Maybe taking away his Rise, his Cassiopeia. That's never a bad option. And as far as Gawain, I mean, he also has the Xerath that he's pretty prominent on. So the mid and top band is where I see it going mostly.
Okay, fair enough. Rengar.
I think the ADC pool will actually be pinched quite a bit because I feel like none of the roles really like swap. Like maybe top lane, like Don said, but I agree with him when he says that a lot of the champions that each team plays don't really overlap. But what I'm thinking of is Twitch, just because I know Hero plays him. Maybe not a whole lot, but he does like to play him. Same for Blue Edit. They both love that champion and aren't afraid to pull it out. And that being said, when most of these bans are going to go towards the ADCs, because I feel like they're the two of the, I think it's the most influential lane in this matchup. So I think it'll be a lot of ADC bans from both teams. I think they'll both be stuck on relatively similar champions. So because there's not that many ADCs in reality, I'm going to go with the entire ADC pool is just going to be like really pinched in terms of what's must pick. It's whoever gets the better ADC.
Okay. Yeah. Ignorant, please.
Hey Zushi, do you still play Tarek?
Not as much lately.
God damn it.
I know that's going to be a contested pick
I
though.
was gonna say Tarek. It looks like both supports play it. He's a huge pain to deal with.
Both play Nami as well.
Yeah. I think the support pools, it's really easy to pick up a support and stay safe early in the draft. So in terms of contention, it might come down to how is Zushi gonna be able to control the lane over Barbie. She doesn't die a lot, but if she does, she struggles a little. So I guess that's the worst I can see happening. And then both the mid laners play tons of control mages, Syndra, Zoe, and then Swain. They both play Swain, and Swain obviously is still a big bulky dude that shoves his lane, roams, and doesn't die. So I'd go with them.
Okay, I like it. Zushi.
So, like most games, I expect I'm gonna get 3 bans most of the drafts, just because that seems to be what a lot of people's strategies are. Throw like 2 to 3 support bans. But I don't know. I always have a comfort pick. But I agree on the top lane contested picks. I think Kha'Zix will also be contested for the jungle.
Okay.
Thing is, I don't know who their jungler is they're going to use, because I know Razzle Frazzle, but I don't really know a Carcian, besides that he's like auto-filled. So I don't know.
No, fair enough. Blaze.
Oh, Rengar. I don't know what you've been having today, but it must be pretty good. Don't get me wrong, I think the EDKs are pretty important. Blooded finally gets to prove his worth against Hero and prove to us that he isn't
like the
just
only winnable lane
the
for
shadow of Hero of Tournament. It took them 2 teams disbanding, 1 violator of Rule 1.3, 2 gauntlets, and 1 upset over a team that didn't want to practice or make the semifinals. However, I think the solo lanes is what we got to keep our eyes on. It should be pretty straight, Hero over Blooded any day of the week. So looking at the solo lanes, I would say Xerath. Take away from Grain, it's been his champion. He's been the Xerath player of the league, and I think it's honestly worth banning against him in the semifinals. As for what Corey in the house should ban, probably the GVG GP, because my god, does that man know how to perform on a pirate?
That's true. GVG does love the booty. So my must bans. Honestly, I really feel like the Orianna. I feel like that kind of goes without saying. But Orianna, I mean, Gwen's Orianna is just disgusting. It really is. It's truly on another level compared to all of his other champions. Orianna just is on the pedestal, and then the rest of his mid champions are quite a bit ways lower. And then as far as 9ips is concerned, what is a must ban? That's hard to say. Like one champion must ban, because I feel like if you ban the GP from GVG, which don't get me wrong, is a solid ban, he's just gonna pick Darius, or he's just gonna pick Malphite, or he's just gonna pick this, that, and the other thing. So I feel like with 9ips that's kind of hard, because I think their champ pools are very, very big. I would kind of want to say maybe either the Rise or Cassiopeia from Omen, just because, hey, the Naughty Nips always seems to do well in lane anyway, and then they group pretty early. So if you ban the Cassiopeia, that very strong mid spike that she gets when she gets her tier, I just feel like that might be maybe your best bet. But I just feel like it's really hard to pinpoint with Naughty Nips. So that's my thought. Didn't really answer the question, but I feel like it is a hard question. But that's the whole reason I picked it. So let's go into the next topic. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rangar.
Oh, I was just gonna mention I think it was Sushi or Ignorant that was talking about not actually knowing who's jungling for NN. So I'm like Don said earlier, he's not expecting the meta to change too much, right? That obviously means he's not expecting his jungler to play anything hypey like we were discussing. So that being said, there's only a few really meta like champions that are easy to learn. And say it is Arcasian or Barbie that's going to be playing the jungle, because we don't know. If you ban like one or two of those tanks in the jungle, you can punish her so hard. And we already know Law likes to play tanks. So, or not English.
Yeah, Law's right. Law's the jungle.
Yeah, okay, no, Law.
CTH.
Yeah. Law likes to play carries. So if they can hard shove the jungle lane, I don't think anybody's been thinking about this, but this could low-key be the victory for CTH if they punish the jungle right.
Don't worry, I'm taking notes.
Wait for the next
Yeah.
Sorry,
no,
I just thought that was an
100%.
interesting thought, but I didn't even think of that.
No, I got you 100%. Well, that's a nice little segue into our next topic. What is the biggest weakness for each team, and will their opponent be able to exploit it? How about you, Rangar?
Yeah, no, pretty much like what I was saying. I not knowing who the jungler is. Don already given away too much in this interview.
I
think,
believe it's our Carcion. Like,
Turned into a robot.
That wasn't me DCing, that was him.
Yeah. All right. So what he was trying to say is like Carcion's probably gonna be the one that's jungling.
wait,
Okay.
am I good now? Hello?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, 99% sure it's going to be our Carcion. FYI, Rangar.
Listen and learn, Sushi.
Okay. All right, so there we go. Yes, I concur with you, Rangar. That is a good point. X-Don.
Biggest weakness for each team. CTH's lanes suck. If I'm being honest. So there's their weakness laning phase. Once they group up, they do a lot of stupid stuff, and it really works in their favor because no one is on their same like mindset because it's out there. But in lane, I think 100% their biggest weakness. NN's biggest weakness is early game. If I'm being 100% honest, once NN groups up, I don't think there is a team that can go toe to toe 5v5 if it's on like even gold leads and stuff like that. But early game, if they're able to get one or two people behind, I think that's probably NN's biggest weakness. So.
Okay. Yeah. Ignorant, please.
Yeah, I agree. I'll do Naughty Nips since they're tougher. First, Naughty Nips, same thing. Their early game, their biggest strength is, again, grouping. GVG likes to just show up and beat the hell out of anybody who tries to hurt his laners. And their junglers pretty much indefinitely, like no matter who it is going to be playing tanks and is going to be playing champions with very, very slow clear speeds. All CTH has to do is draft winning lane or 2 winning solo lanes, level 3 and 4, and then later at the second top clear, show up in the jungle. Solo laners can't respond. Jungler gets bullied out of the jungle, and GG, well played. As for CTH, I love DuoE. He's awesome. Watching him play is so much fun because he's so aggressive all the time. But that's just the thing. He is less stable than my ex-girlfriend. Like his lane phase is either hit or like 100% on or 100% off. He's either going to carry on Darius or he's going to feed his ass off. So I think just getting GVG really far ahead wins the game.
Okay. Zushi, thoughts?
I think the jungle is definitely going to be the determining factor in this game. I was going to be so excited for AOL Civil War when it was Hero and Green, but now I hear that Green he's not playing. I was so disappointed by that because I wanted to defeat him too.
Wow.
Because Yeah, it was like we were so hyped for the AOL Civil War. Oh well. So weaknesses.
I mean, if we're being honest, Hero's the main one who carries all of his supports anyway. So
Yeah. I think Hero might be one of their weaknesses. Because I don't know, Hero in lane is just kind of a resident sleeper. Like haven't played with him. He usually just wants to go even and farm.
Okay, fair enough. Blaze, hit us with it.
I'll touch on no-nips first, and I would say that probably the new jungler. Mind you, most no-nips junglers have never been anything to be awe-inspired over. Acarcion here. His mid lane performance on Nevermore and Piping was pretty solid, don't get me wrong, but I only think so much of that mid lane knowledge is going to go over to the jungle, and with this being Acarcion jungling, it might actually give Law an even, if not potentially a head matchup for the jungle. For Corey in the house, I'm agree with Xton here. It is 100% the solo laners. GVG and Omen have been clapping kids all season long, and while Dwayne and Gwen aren't bad solo laners at all, I just think that we're going to need a couple of miracles to have their solo laners not getting absolutely massacred before the 20-minute marker.
Okay, fair enough. Yes. Okay, so my thoughts on the matter. So I didn't do a Dota's Dimension, but my thoughts, if I did do a Dota's Dimension, 100% I think Acarcion is the weak link. Not because he's a bad jungler, just because he's not a jungler. So obviously he's probably not going to be top tier at the jungle, because if he was, then that would be his main role. Now, on the flip side of that, is Law a top tier jungler? No, he's not. He's upper mid tier. I'll give him that. I did think he was a pretty good jungler. So I just feel that Law's kind of going to follow the same format he always has, where he mostly ganks top and mid. And then the same thing on the flip side for Acarcion. Every 9-ips jungler is basically told, pick a tank, gank the solo lanes, don't even look bot. So what we're going to have, I think, is a lot of 2v2s. GVG and Acarcion versus Dwayne and Law, and then Gwen and Law versus Omen and Acarcion. Now, the question is, who's going to win the 2v2? I think, honestly, as far as 1v1 goes, GVG should beat Dwayne, Omen should beat Gwen, and then you throw in the junglers, since they're about even. I think most of the time, as long as the junglers are ganking at the same time, they should win the solo lanes. Then that leaves the bot lane, 2v2. I think they'll go kind of even, because neither bot lane is really, I'm going to dumpster the other bot lane. They usually kind of go even, maybe slightly ahead. So that's going to be my thoughts on the matter. Is anyone going to be able to exploit the other team? I don't think so. The only thing I could think of is Law doing is just going to have a more intimate knowledge of the jungle. So he's going to have better pathing, maybe keep timers better, maybe make sure that he's warding whenever his wards come up. Stuff like that. Little things that can make a big difference in the game is what I'm looking for Law to do. Because Acarcion should not really know what time his Gromp is going to spawn after he does it. So he's going to mess up his lane, or he's going to mess up the timer, maybe get behind in a camp or two, and then hopefully Law can use that advantage in gold and EXP, and then that's how he can turn the 2v2s in the favor of CTH. That's my thoughts on it. So, let's go to the final question boys. Who's going to win this match? What's the prediction? What's the game score going to be? Xton.
2-0 and in.
Okay. Rangar.
I'll go 2-0 and 2-0 as well.
Okay. Ignorant.
Sorry, Sushi. I don't think your backpack's big enough. 2-0 and in.
Jesus Christ. All right, Zushi, you're probably going to say 2-0 and then, right?
No. I'm
Oh,
saying,
you're
I'm
not.
saying 2-0, Corey in the house. My reasoning is the bot lane. Me and Blue, we've worked on our bot lane for most of the season. Whereas Hero and Barbie, they have not. So I think me and Blue, we're just going to take over bot lane, and then that'll win us all the games.
Sushi, I want you to know, I feel like it's all on you and Blue Edit. In my opinion, Dwayne, not consistent enough. Mid laner, Hawaiian's a good guy, but I don't think he's good enough. Jungler, only plays carries, which is never a good sign. I believe in you, It is possible for you guys to take a game. So I believe in you. Good luck.
Yeah.
A game. Good
I
one.
want you guys to win. I want you guys to win, but I don't dare bet against Naughty Nips ever again.
I'm still tilted from the last time I supported Blue Dent.
Wow. All right, Blaze, thoughts?
Alright, just like everyone else, I'm feeling Naughty Nips. I don't think that any level of jinxing or lack of practice can stop this team from what they've been doing all season, and that's been winning. I also don't believe that Barbies is going to allow the month's worth of progress that her and her team put in to bear results similar to how Naughty Nips fared last year in the playoffs, losing to the absolute powerhouse of NBD 1-2 in semis. As for Corey in the House, it might have been the best anime, but anime is nothing more than fiction, just like Corey's chances of beating
God,
We'll have to see in
Dude,
15
Sushi's in the call. Yikes.
Wow. Okay.
Watch this, I'll show you guys.
So right now we have 4 2-0s Naughty Nips, 1 2-0 Corey in the House. No, everyone thinks this is going to be a landslide. I think it's going to be 2-1 Naughty Nips. My thoughts on the matter. Why? I think top lane, GVG is just a better top laner. Fact. Mid lane, Omen's just a better mid laner. Fact. Jungle, I'd have to give the edge to Law. And then bot lane, I'd have to say pretty even. Honestly, I think bot lane's going to come down to a lot of picks. Honestly, I think if Zushi and Blue Edit can get Caitlyn Morgana again, which they've been doing work on for sure. I think, yeah, I do too. But best of luck in getting that. I think that will really help.
If that happens.
Yeah, I think that'll really help you guys snowball the bot because, like I said, I feel like top and mid are going to go the way of Naughty Nips. I think a lot of this rests on the shoulders of AE Law. I think this is the man who can somehow turn mid into a loss for CTH into a win for them. And then Gwen can start grouping, snowballing. Same thing for DeWay. I think it's going to go to Law. That's going to have to be, this man is going to have to carry because I don't think 1v1 the solo lanes for Court in the House really have a chance. But I do think that they will win one game. I think first game, I'm going to have to say Naughty Nips, and then game 2, pick ban's going to change, rotations are going to change, etc., etc. Then somehow Court in the House will pull it out, and then people will have hope, and then game 3, Naughty Nips will turn it up to 100, and then dash their dreams.
It's pretty good.
So, we got about 10 minutes left. So, anyone have any topic that you really you gotta get off your chest?
I got something.
Rengar, of course.
I think this is looking awful reminiscent of a quarterfinal game that won't be mentioned, where everybody thought the solo laners were better. Everybody thought the other team was just so much better, so far superior. But one thing I know about CTH for a fact is they've been scrimming like 4 to 5 times a week. That's kind of crazy. Like, I know NN they practice quite a bit. They never stopped practicing, I think, even when they were off. But CTH really pulled out one. I don't think they played absolutely insane. But when everybody's predicting that the massive win's going to come off the solo lanes, I think it could actually be a surprise upset. And if I could go back now to actually probably say 2-1 NN, just because now that I think about it and I'm saying it out loud, it's possible for TH to take a game.
I think Owen can win if he has 20 kills mid. I don't know what Aquatic Duck's issue is.
Are we 100%? Wait, real quick. Are we 100% sure Carcian's playing jungle?
Pretty.
Is he?
Sure. He's played with everybody except Naughty Nips.
Might be Barbie.
Has this been bamboozling the whole time?
He's played with GG players and he's played Flex with about 4 other teams, but it doesn't look like he's been Carcian. But it does not look like he's been playing with anybody from Naughty Nips.
I don't think.
It was a bait the whole time.
Dude, Dota's heckin' bamboozling us.
Here's one game. Yeah, he played Zach. He's got 1 game. 2 games. 2.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Carcian jungle.
So do you guys think Law will actually pick up a tank? Do you think he'll be forced to? Or do you guys think that he's actually going to continue to pick a carry?
Do you trust Law to win the game? That's the question.
His volleyball looked really good.
I would. If he knows, if the team went into the game knowing that they're not starting a jungler, I would say yes, focus all your attention into Law, give him a carry, make sure he first picks Kha'Zix. I think Kha'Zix is pretty much the only really hard carry one that's super viable in terms of being meta. If they can get him Law and they just tunnel resources into invading and pushing him, they don't even have to worry about winning lane, right? They just tunnel into shoving him out and making it a 4v5, then I'd say yes. But I don't think they actually went into the game with this information. I don't think they've been practicing to give him all of this thing, and I hope that they don't change their plan on the fly and then end up getting curb stomped now that they've heard like their only hope besides Blue Edit.
Besides Blue Edit, I like it. Okay, so all right, I think we'll just go ahead and wrap it up. Let our stream and caster team go ahead and start getting set up. This has been a super special edition of the Tower Dive. Hopefully, I think we'll probably have one next week for finals also. I'm super looking forward to that. Go ahead, stay tuned on the Twitch channel. In about 10 minutes, we're going to bring you the semifinal match of Core in the House versus Naughty Neps, and then tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. EST, to watch the Piping versus DTS match. I've been Dota, your host. Again, joining me was Blaze, Rangar, Ignorant, Zushi, and Xdon. We'll be back.
It's gonna be lit.
Bye!
Later, guys.